Good evening. Alongside Nick Erickson, I'm Ryan Canning, and welcome to the pregame show. The Dogs last night they fell to Auburn by a score of 6-1. Nick, what do the Dogs need to do differently here tonight to secure the W?
Well, I think it's going to, first of all, be an entirely different game. Obviously, the return of Isaac Haugen being injured last weekend, being off this entire week, and Goldstein being forced to play the past 2 games, I think that's going to be a completely different game for the Ice Dawgs, and really give them an extra sense of accomplishment, hopefully, and a boost of energy. So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing that they need to do is more clean passes. We saw a lot of sloppiness last night with passes in the neutral zone and just overall trying to get the puck up the zone. They clean that up. They should do better tonight.
All right. It is senior night here in Athens, so we will be right back with the senior night honors.
And celebrate our senior players who will be graduating in May. This remarkable class has been an integral part of our team's successes over the years. Your dedication, hard work, and passion for the sport have left an indelible mark on our program. Please join us in celebrating the following players and their families. We'd like to honor our captain, number 3, Evan Borentine, from Grafton, Massachusetts. Evan will be graduating with a degree in risk management and insurance. He is escorted by his parents, Kim and John Borentine. Thank you, Evan, for all you've given to the UGA Ice Dawgs. Next up, we'd like to honor our assistant captain, number 29, Declan Conway, from Lido Beach, Florida. Declan will be graduating with a degree in finance. He is accompanied by his mom and Conway. Spencer will be graduating with a Master's in Business Analytics. Spencer is accompanied by his parents, Michelle and Michael Watson. Congratulations, Spencer. Next up, we would like to honor number 21, Tyler Stewart from Cumming, Georgia. He will be graduating with a degree in computer science. Tyler is escorted by his parents, Tara and Burke, and his sister, Kinsey Stewart. Thank you so much, Stewart family. Last but certainly not least, we would like to honor number 38, Ben Pacheco from Marietta, Georgia. He will be graduating with a degree in biology. He is escorted by his mom, Stacy Pacheco. Thank you, Ben. A big round of applause for the senior class, 2026.
Hello and welcome to Akins Ford Arena, where we have a rematch between the Auburn Tigers and the UGA Ice Dawgs. Snow can't stop this game from happening. Apparently 3 inches will be coming today here in Athens. But either way, a great game. Plenty of people have made it out to the arena to cheer on the Ice Dawgs. Ryan, what can UGA do better in order for these people to cheer on the Ice Dawgs?
Yeah, as you said, coming off a 6-1 loss to the Auburn Tigers last night, and UGA didn't show up their best. They looked a little slow from the start, and that's how they finished the game. But it is senior night here in Athens, and so I'm looking for all the seniors to step up in big ways. Isaac Haugen getting the start tonight, his first start since going down with his knee injury last week in the first game against Niagara. And I think that they need to play fast here off this first face-off and look to get shots on early.
So face-off quickly won by the Dogs at center ice fighting for it. Chipping it around in the neutral zone, enters Georgia's offense, but quickly leaves. Truman Haugen with the puck, sending it in deep, hits the goalie, William Dobson, for Auburn. Haugen still keeping it in. Working down, pass up, gets blocked by Landon Patz, the assistant captain. And here comes Auburn the other way. Shot there going wide. Now Georgia back with it the other way in transition. They've got numbers. Trying to get a pass. Can't quite connect to Evan Parente. Now Auburn taking it the other way. Shot there saved by Haugen. His first save of the game. Only a minute in. Sending it along the boards to Evan Moore. However, gets picked off by a couple of Tigers. There's another shot there saved by the blocker of Isaac Haugen. Fighting for it along the boards. 2 men go down. Auburn behind the net. Working it up to the blue line. Sending it back down. Gets gloved down by Declan Conway. And Georgia in transition. Spencer Watson's shot goes wide. Keeping it in there, saved by the pads of Dobson.
Yeah, this is already looking better than yesterday's start for the Dogs. They've got a few odd man rushes and they're getting shots from the point.
Things are seeming to not go Georgia's way yesterday. Hoping to avenge that game. Dobson gloving one down and playing it to his man. That was defenseman Cole Patton. Georgia with the puck. Patry Henry sending it in deep. Both these teams trying to hold on to the puck and create some sort of offense. As Georgia now intercepting and heading the other way.
This was a very physical game yesterday, especially towards the end. Georgia had eight penalties yesterday, so they're going to want to keep out of the box today to have success. They did kill off most of those penalties, but it's just not something you want to play. You never want to play 5-on-4 for most of the game.
So both teams getting 3 shots in so far. However, none of them have really been any sort of quality chances, as another face-off won by Auburn. That shot gloved down by Haugen and will face off again. It's senior day, and we had senior recognition here before the game, if you were around before then. That shot on the face-off win for Auburn goes wide. McAvoy with it behind the net. He'll work it up. Looking to get a pass. It'll go far. And icing will head the other side of the rink. Those seniors, as I was mentioning earlier, Evan Parente, Truman Haugen, Isaac Haugen, Declan Conway, Ben Pacheco, Ryan Bailey, Bill Martin, Dylan Punzenberger, Spencer Watson, and Tyler Stewart, all of whom have had a big impact on this Ice Dawgs program.
Yeah, that's a lot of seniors, and it really does beg a question about who's going to step up next year. It's a lot of open spaces and a lot of ground for people coming from a D3 or transferring in or going to be freshmen next year for them to make their point and solidify their spot on the active roster next season.
That entire first line for Georgia of Evan Parente, Ryan Bailey, and Declan Conway all graduating. It's face-off won by Auburn. Shot going a little wide. White McAvoy looking to clear it. And Truman Haugen trying to fight for it. Gets picked up by Pats. He'll send it down all the way to Isaac Haugen, the goalie for Georgia. Now behind the net. Truman Haugen moving it over to his line partner, Bill Martin. Bill Martin over to Nate Haley, who Sends it behind the net. Picked up by Auburn. And neither of these teams can find their offensive footing so far in this game. Lots of turnovers and sloppy passes. Georgia trying to hold on to it now in Auburn's offensive zone. However, Auburn will pick it off and have it behind the net. Fighting forward along the boards, enters the slot, no one there. Here comes Evan Parente, quickly on a break. He'll pass it over to Conway, but Conway just can't quite hold on. Sending it around the boards and out of the offensive zone, picked up by Patty Henry. Haley moving it over to Parente at the faceoff dot. His shot saved by Dobson. Now with Ryan Bailey looking for there. Parente just gets stopped up by the pads of Dobson. He had no one between him and the goalie. There's another shot there by Ryan Miller that gets saved by Dobson, and it's out of the offensive zone for Georgia.
What a save by Dobson. He did a split and spread eagle to rob Evan Parente on the back door. And I really like this first line for the Dogs being back together, and Parente, Bailey, and Conway. Their synergy has been great all season, and it's great to see them back on the same line.
There was some mix-up yesterday as on the lines by head coach John Kemp. As now Warmath entering the offensive zone. Pass gets broken up. Finally clearing it. Bill Martin able to pick it up, loses it. Heading the other way is Jake Fleet, sending it in deep, trying to get a bounce. Now back up at the blue line with Auburn. A shot there going through defenders. Doesn't ever make it to Haugen. And here come the Dogs back into their offense. Evan Moore with a puck shot that gets stopped up. And just as quickly as Auburn got it, they lose it again and have it once more. Shot there saved by the pads of Isaac Haugen. Another flick there into the pads of Haugen. Not much of a shot. Warmath trying to get it out, will not be successful. Now Truman Haugen trying to get it out, gets taken up by a few defenders. Back with Bill Martin over to Haugen. Back to Bill Martin. Martin moving it to Sirota. The speedy forward moves in, cuts back, loses the puck. And Auburn will take over from the stick of Sirota, sending it in deep.
I'm really excited to see what Sirota's got for us the next 3 years. He'll definitely be a key piece to this Dogs offense in the next coming years.
Kerrigan had the puck in the slot. There's a shot there saved by the legs of Dobson. Sirota had no one between him and the goalie. Dobson able to locate that one.
Another great save from Dobson early in this game, and the Dogs are just all over the Tigers right now. They've definitely come out a lot faster than yesterday. And Dobson, that's his second spread eagle save, and he's just finding everything right now.
So it'll be Nate Haley on the faceoff for Georgia and Landon Patz for Auburn. Faceoff gets pushed around and then ends up in the glove of Dobson. So we will redo the faceoff. The same two for each team going up to the dot. One by Georgia. Exits the zone. They'll have to touch up. Cole Patton behind the net. Gets a little pressure from Pacheco. Has to get it out. Sending it across the ice. Looking for Franklin. And will bounce over to Haugen. He'll glove it down. We'll have a face-off this time in Auburn's zone.
Already 10 shots on goal for the Dogs to Auburn's 7. And this is exactly what I was talking about last night, as the Dogs needing more shots on net early, as these Auburn goalies, they're popping out rebounds once again, left and right. At some point, their luck's bound to change.
Shot there, almost deflected in. Haugen able to stop it. Georgia will have a chance heading the other way with Ryan Bailey. He'll get pickpocketed. And Auburn now trying to go in transition with Daly. Fighting for it along the boards. Heading back Georgia's way with Declan Conway. He'll try to deke his way through but get broken up and exit the zone for Georgia. Shot there, saved by Haugen. Ryan Bailey moving it to Conway. Conway will dump it, and Georgia will get a line change. Pass there gets broken up by Zach Knoll and will head back behind the goal for Georgia. Trying to hold on to the puck. Both of these teams unable to. Puck flying up, fighting for it along the boards. Watson coming in there with a shove. And Truman Haugen will come out with it and quickly lose it. Here comes Georgia heading the other way. Knoll with the puck, shot there, gets deflected. Spencer Watson, as he was attacking the slot.
Yeah, so far this game's split pretty evenly in scoring chances and shots on goal, both 10 apiece. But in terms, this is a much better game from the Dogs at the start.
Now Punzenberger behind the net. He'll move it up to Warmath, who has seen a lot of playing time this game. Kerrigan at the dot, shot there going high. Warmath with it again. His shot right into the stomach of Dobson. Overall, a couple good chances there. Kerrigan with a shot, and then Warmath moving his way up, getting a shot from that other side. Face-off won by Georgia. Shot there blocked before it ever reaches Dobson. Sirota fighting for it along the boards, moving out to Kerrigan. Looking back to Sirota now behind the net. Trying to work his way through, but will get stolen from him. Franklin sending it down the ice. There's Tyler Stewart, the senior. Moving it along the boards to Kerrigan. Over to Sirota with a nice move with one hand, and it will be an offside on the Ice Dogs.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out here we just saw is the puck came off the glass here in the offensive corner to the right of Dobson and popped straight out. That's how Auburn scored their first goal yesterday on the opposite side of the ice against Goldstein. So something to keep an eye out for if you're a goalie on either side of the ice, because the puck can go anywhere off these corner boards.
In Georgia's zone, Jake Green hoping to get it. Shot there going wide. And a shot from the blue line by Owen Larson gets gloved down by Dobson. Just over halfway in this first period. 13 shots for Georgia and 10 for Auburn. Very high shooting affair in this game, I'd say. There's a face-off won by Auburn. Nick Pellegrino sending it along the boards. Georgia trying to keep it in with Ryan Miller before it will get sent down the ice.
Yeah, Jake Fleet just laid a big hit on Ryan Miller. They're at the blue line. 6'3", 190 is Jake Fleet.
At the blue line, Pellegrino again sending it along the boards, looking for Fleet. Now behind the net, a couple guys fighting for it on both sides. Up to the blue line, shot there, gloved down by Isaac Haugen.
Yeah, 8 minutes left here in the first. Shots 13-11, Ice Dawgs. It's a very fast-paced game compared to yesterday. Both teams, I seem to pick it up today, even though Auburn had the quicker legs yesterday. But UGA seems to have found their stride today, and it's going to be a closer contest than yesterday.
So far looks much more even than what 6-1 showed yesterday, as Spencer Watson moving it down, looking for Zach Knoll in the slot. Can't find him, moving it out to Evan Moore. His shot saved by the legs of Dobson. Dobson's been phenomenal so far in this game.
Great screen in front by Spencer Watson, using that large frame to really take up the eyes of Dobson, who still found the puck.
Spencer Watson, another shot, scores! Right off the face-off win. Georgia taking an early lead from the senior on senior night, Spencer Watson.
What a shot from Spencer Watson right off the face-off. He put that right over the blocker of William Dobson. And that was one quick release. And quote me, but that was Bedard-like, if I ever did say so.
Georgia with another face-off win as the alumni marching band plays the fight song for Georgia after that goal. And an icing call will move it back down to the other side of the ice in front of Isaac Haugen. Face-off won by Auburn, exits the zone after the shot was deflected by Watson. And another one gloved down by Haugen.
Yeah, Spencer Watson already have a really good senior night. Hits, blocks, goals, shots, you name it, he's done it already, and we're only in 13 minutes into this game.
With Punzenberger moving it across the ice to Kerrigan. Fighting along the boards, Kerrigan will send it down. Auburn trying to get it out of Georgia's offensive zone. Bill Martin will keep it in before finally exiting, heading down to Isaac Haugen. Haugen finding Sirota at mid-ice. Back with Sirota, his shot goes off the glove of Dobson and just over the net. Punzenberger able to fight it out, sending it, trying to find Kerrigan before finally getting exited out by Auburn.
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate it again, but so far this is exactly what the Dogs needed compared to yesterday. This is them at 100%.
Icing will be the call. We'll have a face-off right in front of Dobson. And Ryan, what do you think is going better? I know you said 100%. What do you think Georgia's doing this game that they weren't doing yesterday?
I think they're playing a lot faster. Compared to yesterday's game, off the opening faceoff, when I was watching the game yesterday, I thought their legs looked a little sluggish, if I'm being completely honest. And today I see a lot of fresh legs. I see speed. I see crisp, complete passing. And that was a prime example is right off that faceoff on Spencer Watson's goal. Zach Knoll knew exactly where he was going with that faceoff win. And it's just something that I like to see. And when every line that you've got rotating is playing at a high level where Coach Camp can just keep cycling all 4 lines, that's when you know you've got a great thing going during your game.
Yeah, all the lines have gotten a pretty even amount of playing time in this game so far. Right now it's Nate Haley, Ben Pacheco, and Jake Green, that 4th line, joined by Tyler Stewart and Dylan Warmath at defense. Fighting for it right in front of Auburn's bench. Will get out over to Stewart, who move it to Warmath. Warmath back with the puck, moves it into his zone. Chasing for it is Patton along with Jake Green. Tyler Stewart trying to find a man, no one able before he gets broken up, and there goes Warmath sending it down the ice. Sending it into the offensive zone for Auburn, and Auburn will get a change. Warmath to Stewart. Stewart sending it in deep. No icing. Now with Ryan Bailey, who will mishandle it and end up on the stick of the Auburn defenseman. Back along the boards, Conway coming out with it, sending it to Bailey, who has Pellegrino at his hip fighting alongside. Pops out to Franklin. He'll try to chase after it. However, Evan Parente right there to scoop it up. Ryan Miller taking a big hit from Landon Patz. And he'll lose the puck, and Auburn with it again. Franklin, his shot saved by the shoulder of Haugen. Mishandling of a pass results in Parente with the puck heading into the zone, dropping it back to Bailey. Bailey with no angle will work behind the net. Isaac Haugen trying to find his brother Truman, who will pick it up behind the net. And now Truman working in transition, gets stripped from behind him. Been a lot of turnovers overall in this first period, but especially the past few minutes. As there's Bill Martin with a few dekes. His shot, I believe it just got blockered off by Dobson. Had a lot of power behind it.
A few great moves from Bill Martin there to get a quick shot on net. Keep testing Dobson.
In transition, Truman Haugen doing a great poke check to get the puck out. And he'll work his way into the offensive zone. He'll take a shot there, going just a little wide. Saved at the blue line by Punzenberger. He'll take one in. There's another shot going high, that time by Evan Moore.
Yeah, that shot from Punzenberger at the point. He was looking for the stick of Truman Haugen in front for a tip. Fortunately, the puck never reached Dobson.
So with just under 2 minutes left in the first period, Georgia still up 1-0. Playing a much better defensive game than they played yesterday. As that pass can't find his man, Auburn will have it with Kemner, who will move it back over to Patillo. Auburn looking to make something happen here just before first intermission. They'll take a shot there with a low angle and get saved by the pads of Haugen. Kerrigan sending it in deep as we hit the 1 minute mark. Ryan Miller sending one in will get blockered off by Dobson. Puck working its way after a few checks down behind the net of Haugen, sending it along the boards and into the offensive zone. Ryan Bailey with it, no one else with him. He'll have to work hard. There comes Evan Parente trying to scoop it up. Shot there from Owen Larson, getting stopped up. 15 seconds to go. Auburn has the length of the ice if they want to get a goal. Get gloved down by Evan Parente, moving it over to Nate Haley. Shot there, saved by the stick of Dobson, and there's a second and a half. Georgia currently on pace for 60 shots on goal by the end of this game, certainly putting Dobson to work.
Oh man, this is an exciting game right now. ZJ is pouring on the pressure. They're forcing turnovers. Most recently, Nate Haley with a hard back check, stripping the puck at center ice. And I'm liking what I'm seeing here as this first period comes to a close.
So have a quick face-off, and Bailey will try to get a shot off. The defender, Alex Duchemin, able to stop it. So that will do it for first period action. I'm Ren Grimsley, joined by Ryan Canning. We will have a second intermission report and then second period action right here on the UGA Hockey YouTube channel.
Good afternoon and welcome into the first period intermission report. Ryan Canning alongside Nick Erickson. Nick, Dogs are up 1-0 at the end of this first period. What did you see that they went and did right?
Oh boy, man, was it an exciting period. A completely different game from yesterday. It seemed like two completely different teams out there. Maybe it's because of senior night, or maybe it's because Isaac Haugen's in net. Man, has he been good. 15 shots faced, 15 shots blocked. He's really putting this team on his back, and man, Spencer Watson looked good in that first period.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do they need to do to keep this pressure on as we start the second period?
Honestly, they need to keep playing the hockey that they're playing. We thought that they found it maybe in the first period last night. They were skating hard, but man, today has been a completely different game. Both teams are skating super hard. Just continue to do what you're doing. Get pucks on net. The Ice Dawgs currently have 20 shots on goal, so continue to throw the puck at their struggling goaltender and hopefully set something up, get something in the net.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the first period intermission report. Bren Grimsley and myself, Ryan Canning, back on the call at the start of the second period.
Welcome back to the UGA Ice Dawgs YouTube channel. I'm Aaron Grimsley, joined along with Ryan Canning as we prepare for second period action here in Akins Ford Arena. UGA currently sits up 1-0 after a goal from Spencer Watson off the face-off win by Zach Knoll. Overall, a much better period for the Ice Dawgs, moving a lot quicker, playing a lot better, getting those passes as Nick and Ryan mentioned at the first intermission report.
Yeah, it's going to be a great second period here for the Dogs. We're looking to keep the pressure that they had at the end of the first on at the start of the second. And if you're Auburn, you're just looking to get one home. Not to say they haven't had their chances, 15 shots on goal, but right now Isaac Haugen has played great in net.
Face-off ultimately won by Georgia as Conway sending it down the ice, trying to get to Parente. Unsuccessful. Charlie Kimner with the puck. Kimner sending it down behind the net. Truman Haugen with a big hit there on Franklin. It's Franklin coming out with it, still fighting with Haugen. Works up to Kimner at the blue line, who will move it. Trying to find his man, but Truman Haugen moving it to Bill Martin. Haugen once again with it in Auburn zone, moving it to Zach Knoll. Zach Knoll up the ice, trying to deke his way through. A backhand shot gets saved by Dobson. Great effort there from Knoll.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Ren. It's great effort from Knoll, coast to coast. He had a lot of speed there as he was moving down the center of the ice.
Speed is one thing Georgia lacked yesterday and are thriving in this game. Spencer Watson, the only goal scorer for this game. Along the boards. Trying to be gloved down by Ryan Miller. Grabbed by Fleet, and a save there from Haugen. His first save of this second period and of this game, in which he has been perfect. This is his first game back coming from injury after he tweaked his knee in the series last weekend against Niagara. Face off won by Sirota. Now Ryan Miller behind his own net tries to get a pass off, blocked by defenseman Bonthus.
And UGA is going to go on the power play here. Auburn's going to get called for holding.
Did not see a penalty at all in the first period. Now we're going to see one on Bonthus, the freshman for Auburn, 6'5", 175. And we'll see the power play for Georgia the first time this game.
So this lethal power play for the Dogs will come on the ice, and Conway, Kerrigan, Haugen, Bailey, and Parente, they're going to look to make this a multi-goal game.
Conway winning the face-off, back to Bailey at the blue line. Bailey looking across the ice, shot there going wide by Conway. Exits the zone, Haugen dumping it back to Conway. Mishandles the pass to Bailey. Truman Haugen still with the puck. A lot of pressure there from Brent Tinscher. Auburn playing essentially a full court press while on the penalty kill, and doing pretty well at it so far, as Haugen will have to play it, and a whistle here.
And we're going to get 4-on-4. Truman Haugen's going to go to the box for interference. That was a very interesting sequence of events in the defensive zone for the Dogs. They were trying to do too much with it. Drop pass, another drop pass. As I get what they were trying to do, they were trying to get a hard rush up the ice in numbers, 4-on-3, 4-on-2. But in the end, it's going to cost them their power play.
So we'll see 4-on-4 hockey for a minute 13, and then about 40 seconds of power play for Auburn. Patton with the puck, skating all around the neutral ice. Trying to look for Franklin. It will go down, and Haugen will play it in his own crease. Now with Larson, the defenseman for Georgia. Larson working his way through. Trying to move it over. His pass gets deflected and picked up by Auburn. Shot there, saved by the blocker of Isaac Haugen. Shot coming from Brooks Franklin, the senior for the Tigers. And that will do it for 4-on-4 as Bonthus will leave the penalty box. Now about 40 seconds of 5-on-4 in Auburn's advantage. Patillo with the puck, skating up the ice, enters the zone himself, dumps it back. And a pass broken up. Evan Moore trying to skate down and hold on to it. As Patton will hit the ice, but no call. Looks like Moore was just trying to play the puck and something happened and Patton lost his footing.
I like that call from the ref from letting that go as a no hook.
Jake Fleet nearly had a chance there after the pass across the ice. There's another shot going high, hitting the net just as the power play ends for Auburn and Truman Haugen leaves the box. Looks like both teams will get all 5 skaters off the ice and get 5 fresh ones on.
I think one thing we haven't really talked about a lot this season is the design that Isaac Haugen's got on those pads. I mean, those are pretty stylish in my opinion.
Oh, they're the sweetest pads maybe ever. Dylan Punzenberger at neutral ice, sending it in deep, chased by Kerrigan. Pellegrino there to move it out. Truman Haugen will pick it up, moving it back to Bill Martin. Martin's pass looking for Kerrigan just in front of the Auburn bench, and it went into the Auburn bench instead.
I believe they got tipped and went off the linesman who was sitting on the bench and into the Auburn bench. So the linesman is going to put this back right just outside the blue line for the faceoff.
Sirota winning the faceoff for Georgia. Fighting for it again right in front of Auburn's bench. There's a shot there from essentially center ice that Haugen's able to block her off. Puck heading back the other side. No icing call. Kerrigan looking for a pass into the slot. Nobody there.
Good keep from Bill Martin.
Auburn with the puck, trying to make something happen. They'll have to lose it and get a line change. Martin over to Haugen, who finds Sirota at middle ice, moving it to Kerrigan. Kerrigan's pass can't quite find Punzenberger, and it will leave the offensive zone. Miller and Larson now the defensemen for Georgia, finding Punzenberger. Punzenberger along the boards. His pass getting broken up by Mantville. And an icing call. Auburn catching up in terms of shots on goal. Now at 19. Georgia only has 1 this period.
So roughly 13 minutes left in this first period. Dogs are still leading by a score of 1-0. It seems Auburn's starting to gain a little bit of ground here. A little bit of speed, a little bit of shots. As Dobson has yet to truly be tested this period. And we're going to get another penalty on Auburn for an elbow.
Auburn seemingly not happy about that. It will be Owen Apple, the freshman, who will serve the 2 minutes. And we'll see Georgia on the power play the second time this game. However, their first only lasted 45 seconds. As a penalty by Haugen ended up 4-on-4. Conway on the faceoff. Parente with the puck. Moving it back to Bailey at the blue line. Bailey will shovel it over to Parente. His shot scores! The captain and senior, Evan Parente, able to extend this lead 2-0 Ice Dawgs.
Great shot from Evan Parente. That play turned into a little bit of a broken play as Ryan Bailey looked like he lost the puck and it ended up on the stick of Evan Parente, who put it right under the glove of William Dobson. And it was a perfectly placed shot just out of reach. The Dogs will take a 2-0 lead.
2 seniors scoring so far in this game on senior, more like afternoon. Watson scoring the first one, Parente netting the second.
Who's the next senior to record a point?
We'll see as Evan Parente tried to handle the puck, pass into the slot, nobody there. Well, Bill Martin was there, but not quite in position to receive the puck. Ryan Bailey with a nice strip and some moves. Parente's shot going wide.
Yeah, this first line's feeling it right now.
And Bailey trying to get a shot there. Whiffs on it a little bit. Conway coming in for seconds, and it will be saved by Dobson.
Oh boy, just when you thought Auburn was about to make a stand and come back in this game, the Ice Dawgs shut the door and extend this lead to 2.
A lot of that has to do with penalties. We saw several of them on Georgia last night. Much cleaner this game. Still with the puck is Georgia. That's Zach Knoll at the dot. His shot saved by the leg of Dobson. Back up to Bill Martin, who will move it over to Haugen. Haugen back to Martin. Down to Evan Moore. Moving it all around. Haugen's shot finally scores!
This is great puck movement.
Well, you wondered who the third senior would be to score a goal, and there you go, Truman Haugen.
Oh man, the Dogs are just moving the puck so well right now. Passes are tape to tape. Truman Haugen's gonna get his 6th goal of the year. And he put that far side over the blocker of Dobson.
Face-off won by the Tigers. A lot of energy there from Watson as this Georgia squad is fired up. Pass there gets deflected and into the stands.
So 2 goals in about a span of a minute for Georgia. And they're looking to make it more.
So another face-off, this time won by Georgia. Stewart at mid-ice. Pops out after a fight for it with Tinshirt. Watson moving up, nowhere to go. Eventually finds Evan Moore, and there's some pushing and shoving
here.
Here
We go.
Spencer Watson.
Essentially just WWE moved an Auburn player into the ice. And that's Owen Apple, the freshman. Spencer Watson showing that seniority means more.
So Spencer Watson will head to the box, and it looks like Owen Apple will head to his box. It's Apple's second time in the penalty box this period. As the refs will talk it over.
This is getting exciting, Ren. We're not even halfway through the game.
You knew tensions were going to be high in the Deep South's coldest rivalry, and we've seen it a lot so far the past couple minutes.
They're going to send Apple to the locker room. So Owen Apple's been sent to the locker room. Spencer Watson's still sitting in the penalty box as the referees decide what to make of this. Maybe a possible Gordie Howe hat trick for Spencer Watson.
Potentially, yes. That would be very awesome if he got that on senior night especially. And Truman Haugen's goal, as you know, he wears number 27 and was the 27th shot for Georgia this game. I don't really know what that means exactly, but it's got to be, it's poetic in some way.
In ways, you can't put this on Dobson right now. Dobson's made 24 saves on 27 shots. He's essentially got a 900 save percentage. You're just looking for Auburn to get give some relief to Dobson and get some offensive zone time. So they're going to give Watson likely an extra 2 for roughing. It's going to be served by Nate Haley.
So now 4-on-4 hockey once again. 5-on-4. Auburn will have the advantage after, as you mentioned, the roughing on Spencer Watson, which Nate Haley will be serving. Pat's on the face-off for Auburn. Conway on the face-off for Georgia. Won by the Ice Dawgs. Franklin behind the net. He'll work it back and a race for it. Pops out on the stick of Pat's.
Nice hit from Truman Haugen there in the corner.
Auburn has to touch up before entering their zone again. Sending it down. A big hit there from Bill Martin. Auburn able to maintain possession. Another big hit from Bill Martin. Looking to get a shot there. Haugen able to clear it. A high-velocity shot from Duchemin goes wide. The Tigers able to keep it into the slot.
Great reaction save from Haugen there.
Bodies all over the ice. Over halfway to go in the power play for the Tigers. Shot there saved. I don't think it ever made it to Haugen. And it scores. Franklin, as he fell to the ground, able to sweep that one past the legs of Haugen and cuts the lead to 2 goals.
Yeah, I don't think Isaac Haugen really saw this puck. It went off 2 bodies first. He made the initial moves to get in a position, and then once it popped back out in front, between Haugen, Martin, Franklin, and one other Auburn player, the puck got lost in the skates. Franklin found it and shoved it off the left pad of Haugen and into the net.
Face off at center ice finds its way with Ryan Miller. Auburn keeping it in along the boards, pushing and shoving. Larson coming out with it, moving it over to Evan Moore. He'll send it way up in the air as Larson sends the puck in deep.
So this is kind of what we saw out of, but the opposite yesterday, where Auburn went up 3-1 over Georgia. This time it's Georgia going up 3-1 over Auburn. So maybe a little history repeats itself on the other side.
McAvoy moving down to Moore, whose shot goes wide. Georgia able to hang on before getting stripped of the puck. And a great block there on his man by Larson gets Georgia the puck, and Ryan Miller will send it down for an icing.
So 8:51 left here in the second period. Shots are 27-22 Auburn. Very high shooting game this early. Both goalies being tested. But so far, the Dogs have gotten the best of Dobson.
Zach Knoll up against Landon Pats. And the ref will have to head over and have some words with the timekeeper. So now we have the face-off. Zach Knoll coming out with it. He'll move it to McAvoy. Sending it in deep. Landon Pats getting moved along the boards by Isaac Haugen. Both teams fighting for it right at that face-off dot. And Sirota will try to move it into the offensive zone. He'll get stopped up. Punzenberger over to Sirota.
Oh, that was a good pass by Punzenberger. Sirota wasn't ready for it.
Punzenberger sends the puck in deep at the blue line. Warmath trying to backhand it to a man picked up by Auburn. Down behind the net, Tyler Stewart with the puck, moving it to Punzenberger. Here's Kerrigan trying to go between his legs. Gets poke checked out by Patillo. Stewart on the defense as the puck gets sent in deep. Sirota working it to Punzenberger. Finding Kerrigan in the center of the ice. Finds Sirota. And Sirota just barely mishandles it as it gets away from him. Kerrigan's shot doesn't quite make it to Dobson. And exits the zone for Georgia. Auburn will send it deep and get a line change.
So yeah, after that little wrestling match from Watson and Apple, things have started to calm down a little bit.
Punzenberger, his shot saved. Dobson able to clear it with Martin at the red line. It'll get deflected and gloved down by Dobson. You mentioned the sweet pads of Isaac Haugen. Have not mentioned that the sweaters and uniforms that Georgia's wearing right now are the same ones they wore up in Charlotte against Virginia Tech at the 7:04 face-off, which they were able to come out on top in overtime after a game winner from Jordan Sirota.
That ice did look a little wet up there in
It was quite
Charlotte.
wet. It was like a puddle in that third period, essentially. Auburn moving down the ice quickly, passing it over, trying to get a backhanded shot is Bonthus. And Ryan Bailey, nice move getting around the defender. He'll get tripped up, no call. And Auburn heading the other way with numbers. Shot there going high by Jake Fleet. Now down behind the net. Up at the blue line, can't handle the pass. It's Owen Apple. So Auburn will change and Bill Martin will move it to Truman Haugen. Pass to Parente gets broken up. Tinshirt slowing things down in Auburn's offensive zone. Shot from the blue line, saved. Another pad save by Haugen.
Oh yeah, the Dogs are happy to have Haugen back.
That's one of those things where having a goalie who's 6'5" comes in handy. He can just spread that leg across the crease and stop anything coming his way. With Ryan Miller trying to get it up, Landon Patz will break up Miller's pass. Duchemin on his knees trying to get it out from away from the boards.
Owen Larson might have just gotten away with the cross check. He's lucky that the ref below the goal line didn't see that.
Duchemin moving it back to the blue line. Shot gets saved or knocked off by the skate of Zach Knoll. Knoll will head to the bench and Nate Haley coming on for him. Shot there, saved by the legs again from Isaac Haugen. Another shot, this time his chest. Able to keep it out. I believe the shot went just a little wide by Pats. Great defense from the skaters of Georgia. Off the foot of Haley.
It's a great sequence of saves from Isaac Haugen. 1, 2, 3. All eyes on me as Haugen showed the Auburn Tigers why he's the starter for the Dogs.
And Bonthus deflected a pass down, but it went into the Auburn bench. Just barely stayed in the bench area, nearly went after a family sitting right above Auburn. Nate Haley winning the face-off for Georgia. Auburn able to come up with it. There's a shot. Jake Green able to get a stick in front of it and break it up. Another shot saved by the blocker of Haugen. Auburn pouring on shots here late in the second period. Nate Haley, weird bounce off the boards, but able to find the stick of McAvoy, who tries to move up to Green. Green not looking for it.
Now this is really starting to remind me of yesterday's game. Auburn pouring on the pressure, nothing going their way. And right now, if I'm correct, I think the Dogs are about to go on the penalty kill.
McAvoy and Patton got into a bit of a scuffle.
Now ref showing 5-on-5 signal. They're going to get coincidental minors for roughing.
And Isaac Haugen just took his helmet off to wipe his face, revealing a fresh haircut. Maybe that's why he's playing as well as he is today.
So excuse me, I said 5-on-5. It's actually 4-on-4.
Martin with the puck. He'll take it up himself before eventually stopping right before the blue line. Skate around with it a bit, then send it to Ryan Bailey, who will do the same. Ryan Bailey working through defenders. Moving it back to Martin. Over to Haugen. Looking for a pass into the slot. No one there. And Auburn able to break it up and get control of it. Not for long, though, as Ryan Bailey moving it back to Haugen. Bailey will head off onto the bench, and Parente will take his spot. Bill Martin able to stop a possible transition as Parente the other way looking for a pass to Conway. Just misses him. And here's Auburn's transition they were looking for. Shot there. A sweet glove save by Isaac Haugen.
Yeah, great save from Isaac Haugen there off the rush as Auburn looks to go into the second period only down by 1. But Haugen shut the door. Great defense there also from Evan Parente taking away the pass. Or excuse me, that was Declan Conway. Taking away the passing option, forcing the shooter to eventually take the shot.
One minute left in the second period. 30 seconds left of 4-on-4. Ryan Miller trying to get it over on a shovel pass, finding Evan Moore. Now with Larson, back to Moore at the blue line. He'll take some real estate. He'll take a shot, and saved by Dobson.
Dobson unhappy with Parente's little jab right before the whistle. But the whistle had yet to blow, so everything is legal.
.36 seconds in the period. Face-off won by the Tigers. Owen Apple up to Bonthus. Working in his 10 shirt. He's got Larson right on him.
We're back to 5-on-5.
Miller's pass over to Larson, just can't find his stick. Watson hitting up against the boards. Final seconds here. Noel will send it in deep. And that will do it for second period action. Auburn taking the shot advantage 32-31 late in that period. However, Georgia still up 3-1 with 20 more minutes to play. We'll have a second intermission report from Ryan Canning and Nick Erickson. We'll have third period of the Deep South's coldest rivalry right here on the UGA Hockey YouTube channel.
Welcome into the second period intermission report alongside Nick Erickson. I'm Ryan Canning. Nick, Dogs take a 3-1 lead at the end of the period. What'd you see?
I mean, I saw a lot of great things. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I mean, lots of excitement from this team. Obviously, Haugen and Parente striking in that second frame. And then, of course, the Auburn goal, nothing you can really do about it. It was a rebound that went to the other side of the crease that was just punched in. So there's nothing you can do about it. Haugen's got 31 saves in his return game. So, I mean, as long as he keeps doing what he needs to do, Dogs should be good in this third period.
Yeah, as you said, Isaac Haugen playing really well right now. What do you think the Dogs can do defensively? Tighten up, stop giving up as many shots as they have?
Yeah, I mean, just getting bodies in front of the net. We've been saying it this entire season, but, I mean, they're doing a great job of it. So just continue to do that, and I'm sure they'll be fine.
All right. That's it for the second period intermission report. Third period coming very shortly, so stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to third period action here on the UGA Hockey YouTube channel. I'm Ryan Grimsley. With me is Ryan Canning, and we have the final 20 minutes of game here on this YouTube channel for the rest of the season. As Georgia currently leads 3-1, playing a much better second period and first period compared to yesterday, and looking to extend that lead and get revenge on the Auburn Tigers after what they did to them yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't think the fans know that it's the Dogs' last home game, but they're certainly showing Auburn that they're here to mess with them.
So it'll be with Parente. He'll look for a pass across the ice, trying to find Bailey. All seniors on the ice right now: Conway, Parente, and Bailey. Martin and Haugen at defense. And then, of course, Isaac Haugen, the goalie for Georgia, here on senior night in Akins Ford Arena. Haugen with the puck. He'll try and dish it up to Conway. Will get intercepted by Auburn. And now with no one there, a backhanded shot by Pats, saved by Haugen.
Beautiful save to start the period.
So both teams will change up on the bench. Pass down to Bailey, enters the zone. And Auburn will look to transition the other way. Pass across the ice, nobody there for Auburn. It will leave their offensive zone. And here's Spencer Watson, scored the first goal for Georgia, trying to pass it out, and will be gloved down by William Dobson as he connects it with the ice.
Well, I don't know what's better, the fact that it's senior night and basically all the seniors have scored or have a point, or the fact that it's snowing in senior night. We live in Athens, Georgia, folks. You never see snow this often.
It is really too much snow, if you ask me. But face-off exiting Georgia's zone. Haugen will play it. Moving it around the boards. Bonthus able to pick it up. And it will eventually head back down to Dobson, who will play it behind the net. Picked up by Kovac. Miller and Larson, the defensemen on the ice for Georgia, along with Moore, Knoll, and Spencer Watson. Shot there going wide. A lot of power behind that one. That was Jake Fleet. And now at center ice, Zach Knoll. He'll take a shot there, saved by the stomach of William Dobson.
It was a quick release there from Zach Knoll, who can really come in with a lot of speed. Zach Knoll's only a sophomore, so expect him to have a big role next year. Same thing can be said for Mr. Wyatt McAvoy and junior Evan Moore.
Shot going high right off the faceoff by senior Tyler Stewart. There's Punzenberger in the slot. His shot saved by the armpit of Dobson. Yeah, Wyatt McAvoy, Zach Knoll, both guys who have seen a lot more playing time this year, and they will be part of the transition as so many of these seniors graduate. And they'll be the big guys next year. Shot there deflected, going wide. Sirota falling down, taking his man with him, though. Kerrigan trying to keep it in, heading the other way with Dube. His shot saved Haugen.
You know, Georgia's not the only one losing a lot of seniors after this year. I'm looking at Auburn's roster, and they got about the same number of seniors as UGA. Only difference is Auburn's keeping all 4 of their goaltenders, as they are all underclassmen, sophomores, and freshmen. But that is one big question for the Dogs next year, is will Andrew Goldstein be the starter?
And quickly down the ice, Nate Haley's shot going wide. Jay Green fighting for it. Pops out. Still fighting for it this time. It's Ben Pacheco on the ice. Also a senior on this Ice Dogs team. Bill Martin trying to get it back in the zone. Broken up by Duchemin, who will try and hesitate as he works around behind the net. He'll get taken down, and there will be a penalty on Nate Haley, likely for tripping.
You can get him for a hook, but in the same, it's still a penalty. Auburn are ahead to the power play, 16:08 left in the third. Their one and only goal has come on the power play.
Face off quickly won by the Tigers. Working it along the blue line. Shot there. Doesn't make it. Another shot goes, I believe, a save by Haugen. Patton at the point with it. Shot saved, glove down. Isaac Haugen. Well, applying some heavy pressure. Only 30 seconds into the power play. It'll be Brent Tinshirt, one of those seniors for Auburn we were talking about a second ago on the faceoff, going up against Declan Conway. Patton mishandles it. Parente in his hands. And now with no one in front of him, glove down. Isaac Haugen. Excellent reaction.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed a lot this game that I don't think a lot of people are going to notice is Ryan Miller's been involved in a lot of scraps. Behind the play, in the corner battles. Ryan Miller's had a really strong game. I don't think he's going to get enough credit for what he's done here today.
Perhaps not on the scorecard, but I'm sure his teammates will appreciate all the effort. Everyone's been putting in a lot of effort here. Transition opportunity, Ryan Bailey moving it over. Shot off the post, Evan Moore. Almost getting a shorthanded goal. And shot saved by Haugen in tight proximity. Quick reaction keeps it 3-1.
Wow, back and forth the ice we go. First, Ryan Bailey down the left side. Put on the brakes, drew 2 men to him, put Evan Moore on a semi-breakaway, and he hit the post, then back the other way. Auburn feeds the slot, and Isaac Haugen doing a spread as he was sliding. Quick stop, and robs the Auburn forwards with a glove save.
Face-off won by really neither team as they fight for it down low. Auburn coming out with the puck up to assistant captain Landon Patz. Pat's shot saved by Haugen. So Auburn, obviously from Auburn, Alabama, but they play their home games about 30 minutes east in Columbus, Georgia. So this is a home state matchup, I guess you could say, if their home rink is in Georgia.
Yeah, Columbus does have an ice rink down there, and the next closest one is actually the one up in Cumming, Georgia, which is about a 2-hour drive. So, yes, essentially a home game for Auburn.
And that will do it for the penalty to Nate Haley. He'll quickly head to the bench, and Ryan Bailey will get on the ice. Parente at center ice moves it to Bailey. Bailey scanning, finds Parente in the middle. His shot off the post, about as close as you can get without it going in. Dobson stays there on the ice for a second, just thinking about what just happened.
Oh my. Evan Parente beat Dobson 5-hole, and it hit the inside of the right post. Came back straight to Dobson, where he was able to cover up and get a whistle. That's 2 posts in the last 2 minutes for the Dogs.
The post has been very kind to William Dobson, the freshman goaltender for the Tigers. Conway and Tinchert on the face-off. Moves up to Ryan Bailey at the blue line, finding Conway down below the net. Parente back to Bailey. Bailey over to Haugen. Haugen's shot saved, and then Bailey's shot going wide. Haugen behind the net, up to Bailey. Bailey to Parente. With Conway at the faceoff dot. And his pass just misses Haugen and will instead find the other Haugen at the crease.
I was about to say that was really good passing from the Dogs. They had Auburn on the ropes. Miscommunication there from Conway and Haugen. Sent the puck back into the Dog zone.
Ryan Bailey with some moves, finding Conway. Conway's shot going high. A one-timer on the move. I believe hit the stick of Dobson. Conway with a second chance. Shot scores! The 4th senior in this game to get a goal for the Ice Dogs. Declan Conway missed the one-timer from Ryan Bailey and gets a second chance there in the slot. Makes it 4-1 Ice Dogs.
Yeah, that was a great power play from the Dogs. They moved the puck well that entire shift from left to right across the ice, forcing Dobson to slide back and forth, and eventually Bailey to Conway. Dobson wasn't there in time, and Conway was able to rip it home.
So now Auburn in their offensive zone. However, will quickly lose it. Zach Knoll, cross ice pass to Spencer Watson. Watson back with it. Finds Larson, who will move it over to Evan Moore. Before finally losing it. Still fighting for it a little bit. Both teams with a chance as it exits the zone. And Ryan Miller will be there to pick it up. Evan Moore trying to get through a defender, Charlie Kimner. After a couple different passes, Moore finds himself with the puck once again. He enters the zone. His shot off the feet of Kimner, never quite make it to Dobson. Puck going way up in the air, falls right in front of Warmath and Daly.
They're going to call either a hand pass or offsides. Just offsides.
So the face-off will go to the dot right outside the blue line. Warmath over to Stewart. Stewart will try to get it to Sirota, gets deflected and down below the net. Kerrigan fighting for it against Patton. Kerrigan comes out with it. Sirota right there, but off his feet. And Auburn will look to head the other way. Quick skating from Callan Daly, the senior.
It was a great back check from Tyler Stewart to get back. Keep any scoring chances at bay.
Warmath trying to send it across to Punzenberger, but finds itself in the Georgia bench.
Seems like Warmath took a shot at Coach Camp there.
Well, we saw assistant coach Todd Miller take a puck to the face in a game earlier this season. He's okay now. And he was then too, but I mean, he's really okay now.
Yeah.
Auburn will hold on to the puck. As there's Franklin, the only goal scorer for Auburn. Behind the net, he'll one-hand it to Duchemin. Over Haugen quickly on his tail. And Haugen chasing after the puck. He won't get there before Dobson's able to cover.
And Truman Haugen's really fast for his size. Standing at 6'4" and 180 pounds. He really uses his frame, gets all the power he can out of his legs. He can blow by anyone. He's really a true two-way defenseman.
Face-off, won by Auburn. Ryan Bailey, quick shot there from Parente, saved by Dobson. That sequence was about as quick as it could be as Bailey stripped the puck and found Parente right in front of Dobson.
Oh my, Dobson didn't even have it covered either. That puck was loose. The ref didn't blow the whistle yet as he saw it drop. Parente thought that Dobson had it and skated away.
Just over the halfway point in this period. Georgia has extended the lead to 3 goals since the start of the third period. And a pass there to Conway, can't quite find him. Back to Parente. Pushed up against the boards by Landon Patz. As Pellegrino tries to get the puck out. Conway with it. Over to Bill Martin. Moves it to Haugen. Haugen's pass to Parente. Saved by Dobson on the deflect. Bailey at the dot gets taken away by Pats, who will head the other way. Duchemin accompanying him. Drops off to Duchemin, whose shot goes way high and hits the net, and we'll have another face-off.
And I don't want to point something out, but I think the fans right below us are making a tower out of beer cans right in front of the glass. So I think they're waiting for a hit right there along the blue line to come and knock them down.
Always a great way to celebrate after a day at the hockey rink, as Haugen will get a little pressure and have to cover that puck. Both teams now at 40 shots or more. Georgia at 40, Auburn at 42.
And if my math serves me correctly, Dobson's got a 900 save percentage on the dot, and Isaac Haugen's got over a 975 save percentage. So a lot of shots here.
As there's a shot, another save by the legs of Isaac Haugen. Right in front of Georgia's bench, stays in the zone. It'll be Larson behind the net who play it up. Pass to Knoll. Moves it over to Watson. Watson's pass deflected.
Oh.
However, Knoll, they're able to keep it. Gets deflected, but goes wide. Watson once again with it right in front of the crease. Loses it and hits the ground. Still got a man on top of him. Shot goes wide from the blue line by Miller. Auburn able to get it out of the offensive zone. Pass there going deep. Georgia will get a line change, sending on that third line of Sirota, Punzenberger, and Kerrigan.
They're going to get a hand pass on the Auburn Tigers. Face-off will come into their defensive zone, or at the last play, so it'll be just outside Auburn's defensive zone. I don't think Spencer Watson's made a lot of friends with this Auburn Tigers team this game.
Certainly one of the chippier players, a grad student from Dartmouth College in his first and only season with the Ice Dawgs. He has made a huge impact, however, as he was opened up the scoring for the Ice Dawgs in that first period. Isaac Haugen playing it around the boards to Punzenberger. Punzenberger to Kerrigan. Kerrigan's pass broken up by Cole Patton, and another save, Haugen.
Shots are currently 42-44 in favor of the Tigers, but the score is currently 4-1 Dogs. As the first line full of seniors in Conway, Parente, and Bailey will take the ice. Stewart and Warmass stay there on defense.
Haugen covering up, not really a shot, but after the face-off just trickled his way. And he played it safe and went ahead and covered up. So we'll have another face-off, 7:08 to go in the game. Warmath getting to it right off the face-off, tries to send it along the boards. Here comes Ryan Bailey. His shot off the glove of Dobson goes high, hits the net.
Ryan Bailey really likes that shot, short side going, trying to go right above the shoulder. And finding that tight window. And he did have the window, he just didn't get it up enough, as Dobson was able to make the save.
Conway and Fleet will square off at the faceoff dot. Into the stick of Bonthus, who sends it deep, being chased by Daly. Daly will cut back. His shot off the pads of Haugen, I believe, but able to get cleared. Parente skating quickly along the edge. Poke check and a big hit to Parente from Jake Fleet, who is not a small man. 6'3", 190 senior Jake Fleet hitting Parente.
Yeah, that was a big hit on Evan Parente. And it looks like he's all right. A little shaken up, though. So it's very lucky that he didn't get hit in the head.
Pass there, looking across the ice. Can't connect with Tinshirt. Georgia trying to clear it. Auburn keeping it in. Warmath moves it over to Stewart. Behind goal line extended, and Spencer Watson able to clear it. Watson now chasing after it. He's got Knoll behind him. Opts to go for more instead and will get broken up on the pass. Here comes Auburn heading the other way.
We're going to keep an eye on Parente here on the bench, just to make sure he's all right.
Zach Knoll entering the zone. Gives it off to Evan Moore, who dumps it back to Watson, whose shot goes wide. Martin keeping it in. Now with Evan Moore, goes down to Watson. Watson scanning, and his pass gets deflected. Tinshirt with the puck, got Sirota on him, and he'll have to dump it. The final 5 minutes for the Ice Dawgs in Akins Ford Arena this season. Arguably the best arena in ACHA hockey.
I think it is. I mean, who else gets to play in a arena like this?
Larson moves it over to Miller. Auburn pressing as a pass there goes wide from his man, looking for Pats. Miller moves it to Kerrigan, who will fling it up in the air. Fight for it at center ice. Duchemin entering the zone. And looking to just get it in deep, but instead goes way over the glass.
So I just did the math. Isaac Haugen's currently got a .977 continuous save percentage.
That's incredible. For a man who hasn't, he obviously tweaked his knee in the first game against Niagara just a few minutes in, so he basically hasn't played in about 2 weeks.
Oh, and a nice hip check there from Owen Larson.
Now McAvoy trying to get it to Pacheco. Georgia now with the puck. It's Ryan Miller. Tries to use his speed. Will have to dump it. And a chase there from McAvoy. Gets a shot off, but goes over the glass, hitting the net.
So yeah, Haugen's save percentage comes against the second-ranked team in the Southeastern Conference for hockey. So this one is big for Georgia. They want to go into the playoffs with a win, as they're currently on a 3-game losing streak after losing to Niagara back-to-back and Auburn last night.
Auburn trying to get a shot off. Whiffs on it was Bonthus. There's another shot, I believe goes off the side of the cage. Conway picks it up, finds Bailey down the ice. Bailey will slow it down, waiting for an Ice Dawg to join him. However, will lose the puck as Stewart enters. Behind the net. At the boards, Auburn just cannot seem to find anything in the middle, which is very different from their game yesterday where they saw a lot of their goals coming from that middle in the slot. And Parente with the puck. Slows it down. Sirota, as he comes on the ice, shot there, saved by the legs of Dobson.
While Sirota was looking for the stick of Ryan Bailey, it was sitting there right in the crease for a quick tip pass.
Backhand shot saved by Haugen. He'll have to dive to cover.
.137 left in the game. Shots are 46 apiece. Dogs lead 4-1.
Truly a different game from yesterday. I mean, how can a team lose 6-1 and then play the exact same team the next day and win 4-1?
I'm telling you, something yesterday about the line combination. It just didn't fit the Dogs' style of play. I think Coach Camp went back to the original lines we saw before Christmas break, and it just clicked all again. And that's exactly what you want to see right before the playoffs start.
A low angle shot saved by Haugen. And that's also a reason why this game could be going the Dogs' way, is because of Isaac Haugen, who, as we've mentioned many times, is back and healthy and seemingly better than ever.
I mean, the height difference between the two goalies is just incredible. 7 inches between Isaac Haugen and Andrew Goldstein.
Here comes Ryan Bailey trying to find a pass. As we hit the 1 minute mark left to go in this game, Duchemin tries to skate around, will lose it. Bill Martin behind the net. Finds Bailey down the ice. Bailey over to Sirota, back to Bailey. Offside. Yeah, definitely a great way for Georgia to enter the postseason with a huge win over a rival that beat them pretty badly the next day. I think it's just a huge confidence builder.
Yeah. And I want to look back to that Niagara game, the most recent Niagara game where they lost 3-2. And I know that they lost. But what they did that last half of that game, they showed that they can compete with any team from any part of the country. They dominated Niagara the last half of that game. They scored 2 shorthanded goals on the same penalty kill. But unfortunately, just one simple mistake was all it cost them to lose that game. So, looking at it, I think the Dogs really have the depth and the team to make a run and win the playoffs.
I definitely agree. Certainly College Hockey South, and can definitely make a run nationally as well. As face-off won by Auburn, they'll try to make some last-second moves. Down 3 goals, Auburn not even attempting to pull their goalie, as they would have had to have done that about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Pacheco with some moves before taking a big hit.
That was a big hit.
Cole Patton was tired of Pacheco dangling through their legs. So, tension's a little hot here as the game concludes. Ice Dawgs win 4-1. The Dogs capping off their regular season home schedule with a big win over Auburn in the Deep South's coldest rivalry. Any final thoughts, Ryan?
That was exactly what I was looking for last night. And when I say the Dogs needed to play 100%, this is what we got today. They were fast, the passes were crisp, they had a plan, and they executed.
So the Dogs with confidence as they head into their postseason schedule. We want to thank you all for watching here on UGA Hockey YouTube channel this entire season, whether you watched one game or every single one of them. It's always an honor to get to announce this team for parents and fans alike. Not with us, Evan Waldman and Ryan Baxter couldn't be here, but for Nick Erickson and Ryan Canning, I'm Ren Grimsley. We want to thank you all for watching, and we'll be back next season here on the UGA Hockey YouTube channel.